All right, so the last video, we talked about how to put together a solutions document for your Salesforce technical needs. And now we're going to look at how to source a resource to fulfill the technical document. So the first step is kind of understanding the different personas that are involved in completing like technical work in Salesforce. So we're on the Trailhead site, and you can see here there's administrators, solution architects or Salesforce architects, technical architects as well, business analysts, consultants, designers, developers. There's all different types of kind of roles within the ecosystem. And a lot of times it gets pretty confusing on who you should actually be partnering with for a project, right? So this is why I refer back to leaning on experience. So if you're looking to have someone help you with both a tactical, or maybe you haven't even found somebody to develop a technical document for you, and you're stuck on the tactics, you need to know who to find to help you do that. So and past experience is the best place to look. So if someone has worked with many different businesses before, and they know Salesforce as a trade, they're going to be able to help you translate your needs into a technical document in Salesforce. A lot of times, if someone has only worked on one project, or they learned, Salesforce in their first job, they haven't had enough reps, right, to fully understand the platform. They might have adopted a system that was built in a certain way that wasn't necessarily the best way to be built. So they haven't run into different issues. They haven't run into different scenarios that they'd have to work through and solve. It's the same thing with sports or anything that you're trying to master. The more different looks that you get, the more different reps that you can get and look at things from different perspectives, the more talented and efficient you're going to be when you're planning out different strategies and things like that. Um, so once you understand the personas, that kind of leads us to the different types of people that you or places that you can go to source talent. So one is, you can look for a consulting firm. So depending on the size of your business, at the top end, you're looking at like a Deloitte and Accenture, different things like that. In the Salesforce ecosystem, there's thousands of partners that fall underneath that have range from a few people sitting in a room together, a couple people working remote that call it a firm, or 20, 30, 1,000 people. There's a whole scoring system within the Salesforce ecosystem for partners. Um, and there's going to be some positives and negatives that come with that. Positives is, they may have a system that they work through. They might have resources like a project management tool, and all the different people that you need to work with to work a large scale project. But some disadvantages are going to be cost. On average, they're usually over $200 an hour. They're going to be working multiple projects and have multiple priorities at once. So just understanding that working with a firm comes, when you pay that $200 or $250 rate per hour, you're also paying for all the inefficiencies of that firm. You can go with a contracting company. There's some out there like Mason Frank and different things like that, with the understanding of they can either help you find a contractor, and if they do that, they're taking a decent cut of whatever they're paying that person. And often, sometimes, depending on what firm you work with or the individual, they might not know how to source the right individual for your needs. Uh, and it's not to bash these companies, but think about uh, somebody who's new to the recruiting industry, hasn't worked a Salesforce project, is new to what Salesforce is, and then they're trying to go out, interview people, and decide who the Salesforce resource should be for you to help you with your work. Also, some inefficiencies with that, right? But it will be cheaper, I guess, is the pro. You can go with a full time person, but if you're just getting started, that's a bit of a risk because you're kind of new to the whole this whole ecosystem. You're not sure what you need. That is cost efficient, eliminates a lot of the barriers around communication because you have someone there full time. So the best thing that you're going to get with that is speed and cost, and of course, having someone on your team full time is a great thing. So that's why I always land on kind of like Upwork, because it's kind of like it is kind of like the new generation of where people like myself or people that work full time at companies or agencies go to find extra work. For people like me, it's good because you can charge kind of like a higher rate than you would get paid full time at a job, or even if you were working as a consultant. Think about if you're charging $100 per hour through Upwork and keeping that for yourself. That's a huge value as opposed to getting paid 100 a year, 100 grand a year, or whatever the going rate for your certain task is. The talent pool is huge. So as an employer, if you're looking to find talent of all these different types of roles, uh, Upwork's going to have a lot of those different people on there, from consultants to architects to pretty much every type of resource that you could look for is on their platform. So if we come over here, I listed out just some of the general pros. Um, Talent pool, Upwork's platform is going to allow you to manage the relationship, handle payment, handle the contract, different things like that. It's going to give you limited commitment. So a lot of times, if you're working with a firm, you're going to have to sign a big statement of work and you're paying a lot of that chunk up front to commit to somebody. Whereas Upwork, you can go per hour and walk away from the contract whenever you want. And then it also gives you the ability to scale up. So if you need, or scale up. So if you need multiple skill sets within a project, you can go and start with a consultant or someone who's going to help you kind of steer the direction of the project, and then you can expand into different resources that you may need to balance out your cost as well, or just fill gaps where you need them. And then last, I've already hit on this a couple of times, but it's cost effective. So I'm going to quickly just demo how to walk through posting a job on Upwork. I also have the link in my description. I recently just joined like a program with them because over the years of doing this, I've hired people through Upwork. I've worked through Upwork. I just realized like the full potential of pretty much solving a business problem in this whole space. When you bash your head up against the wall trying to consult for a long time, I think one of the things that was funny to me was just realizing that kind of Upwork had solved the problem that I was really trying to solve, and that's connecting the people directly to the people or organizations that need help. You're cutting out the middlemen of a contracting or agency or all that stuff, and you're just going people to business. So I kind of think it's the future, and the best place to go for people to find Salesforce help. So if you look here, um, the first thing you're going to see is kind of creating a headline for your post. So they walk you through this whole process. So they tell you to be kind of descriptive here. I just have Salesforce consultant needed for X business. I'd keep this general. And referring back to our video before this, if you have a technical document, when you get to the end of this is when you're going to upload that. If, for example, you need help finding out what your business needs, say, I need help, or like help needed to generate implement a Salesforce implementation plan for my business. Boom, right? Really descriptive. The people who are gonna apply to this, that you're definitely gonna get some applications of people with different backgrounds, right? So next, I'm gonna go with skills. Salesforce CRM, business analysis, customer relationship management. You can kind of go through here, search for your own skills, add what you need. Scope. I'd say for the most part, you're going to be, unless you really know what you need, it's just like little ticky tack stuff. Try to stay in medium and large, because if you think about the resources that are in the end trying to have like one or two side clients, the good ones are going to be more so looking for this stuff rather than juggling a bunch of small contracts. They're looking for, on the same side that you're a business looking for help, the people on this platform are looking for the best deal that they can get, which is typically going to be here and partnering with less people rather than having 10 partnerships that are small. You can edit the durations. So if you edit this however you see fit. And then for experience level, I mean, if you're really, really cheap, you can go entry to intermediate, but again, I mean, you're already cutting so much cost by taking this route that I'd really leave it at expert, because you're looking for an individual, for the most part. If you're trying to figure out your needs in Salesforce or mapping out your needs in Salesforce, at least that first person that's helping you needs to be a person that has experience in a lot of different areas, in mapping business processes and the stuff like that. Um, you can work with resources in the US or worldwide. I've worked with a lot of talented people internationally. The advantage there is going to be cost. The disadvantage is going to be time zone and potentially language barriers. If you're okay with doing that, you can work with people worldwide. If you want to only look in the US, then you can obviously make that choice. Budget. So, what's a realistic hourly rate? I'd say if you're looking for somebody who's going to, like, the first pivotal piece of how to like start an implementation for your business or help you map out, um, like a business process or technical document, you should be looking within this range, right? Maybe like 100, 125. And again, the Upwork does take a fee for anybody working their platform, so this isn't all going to go to the person that's helping you. And I think this is a good rate based on what I've seen to get top talent, that's going to help you kind of throughout this whole process. So keep in mind that this person may be somebody that helps you build your team. So part of a task that you can have here is help them, have them help you build the technical document, help you find somebody that can execute on the technical document that is cheaper, more so in this range, right? So you can get really creative, with different job listings in here in Upwork. You can have, and this is one of the advantages if we come back to here, you have the ability to build a team. So you can have the one person kind of spearheading your business as like that technical tactical leader, and then maybe you find another resource that executes on their documentation, and that will lower your cost. Again, this is already, if you work with a firm, going to be 50% of that price. Um, so I think, overall, this is a good bang for your buck, and you're likely getting somebody with the same talent level that's working somewhere else. Description. So this is where you're going to add, if you have any documentation on, like solution documentation or technical documentation here, as well as maybe your tactical or business needs documentation, and then write a nice, description of your project. Once you do that, you can just review the job post and post, and you're done. Um, you're going to be able to interview multiple candidates here. Maybe part of that interview process is you have them review your needs analysis and give you a technical, document. So you can leverage so much out of this platform, and I think it's a great place to find, Salesforce resources. So just find the link, at the bottom of this video. If you click that, it's going to take you to this area where you can go ahead and, kind of explore for yourself, maybe make a listing, and take the first steps.